Okay, here we go. Let's solve this absolute value, not equation, inequality. Check the sign. That is an inequality sign, less than or equal to. So you have to check the sign before you start. Okay, the first step, we're going to isolate the inequality. Let's see now. To do that, let's see. We're going to divide both sides by a -2. And that will flip the direction of our inequality sign, and we'll be left with the absolute value of 4 minus x is greater than or equal to -4 divided by -2 is 2. Okay, so we isolated the absolute value, and it required us to flip the inequality sign because we divided by a negative number. Step 2, we're going to eliminate the absolute value bars using the rule that when the absolute value of capital X is greater than or equal to positive C, that means this picture. We've got negative C, we've got positive C, and it includes only the values that are more than C units from 0, right? Okay, so how are we going to write that? Well, what we have is the absolute value of 4 minus x is greater than or equal to 2. So that means the stuff inside 4 minus x is either less than or equal to the negative of 2, or it's greater than or equal to the positive of 2. Do you see where that came from? Look back at the cloud. The C was on the right, and that resulted with a negative C and a positive C in the picture. And we knew we could only include the values that are further than C units away from 0 in the middle, which meant we could only shade things on the left of negative C and on the right of C. So our problem gave us the absolute value of an expression greater than or equal to 2. So we had to only set the stuff inside of the absolute value bars less than or equal to the negative of 2, or the union symbol. That stuff inside 4 minus x had to be greater or equal to the positive of 2. It comes right from the cloud. Okay, step 3, we're going to solve each of these two inequalities that we resulted in without absolute value bars. We'll move the -4 over by subtracting it. We get negative x is less than or equal to -6. Okay, multiply both sides by a -1, and we'll get positive x is greater than or equal to positive 6. We had to flip the inequality sign because we multiply or divide by a negative number. We have to flip. Okay, on the other side, we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. We get negative x is greater than or equal to -2. And then we have to get rid of the negative sign, and that flips our inequality sign. So x is less than or equal to a positive 2 when we multiply both sides by -1. We connect those two results with the or the union statement. Okay, let's graph these. We're going to graph all the x values that are greater than or equal to positive 6 and all the x values that are less than or equal to 2. If you want to really be careful, you should stack number lines when you do this to make sure you're graphing the correct union. But this one's pretty simple. Just graph everything that's less than or equal to 2, greater than or equal to 6. So if we wanted to write this answer in interval form, we describe the first interval, open bracket from -infinity to +2, boxy bracket, union together with boxy bracket 6 to +infinity, open bracket.